Tracas of Crisia, a sequel campaign of Crisis in Crisia that I ran about 5 years ago with some of you here. Don't worry though, if you don't remember or you weren't there, this campaign is set 200 years after that, so quite a long time. So most of your characters won't even remember. It's all history. I will do a quick summary of basically what's happening. So, Navaros, which is basically a giant, demon king, is invading the realm. Now, he himself hasn't shown himself, but what he's been doing, he's been opening these things called demon gates everywhere, which is basically releasing demons into the realm of Crisia. Now, if that was all it was, it probably would have been quite easy to deal with. But these gates have actually been corrupting everything around them. So people, animals, rocks, even the very elements of nature are being warped into just monstrosities, basically. To combat this, a special group of hunters have been formed called the Trackers, which all of you are trying to become. In order to obviously train trackers, because they don't just let anyone do that. They set up a special academy to teach them how to hunt these things effectively. And we find you all here trying to pass the test to gain your tracker's license. Before we kind of get into the sort of meat and bones of it all, would you all sort of like to sort of introduce yourself and the characters that you're playing? So we'll start with you, Matt.
Sure. Hi, I'm Matt. I play Astra, a Warforged Druid. They have essentially been around for over 200 years, so since before the Overthrowers and such, the previous campaign has existed. But they unfortunately got themselves stuck for best part of 100 years in a forest. And so while they have been around for a long time, they have been out of it for an equally long time. And so they are, what a key factor of them is that they have a lot of wooden components to themselves. So even though they are predominantly a race of metal creatures, they have a lot of wood components because of the nature of how they were stuck and the druids to help them recover. And that's how Astra is born into existence.
Arthur?
Well, what can I say about Sebastian? Sebastian is a snake man. Previously, he was a snake, or at least his ancestor was. And through cosmic events of demon gates being opened, their family line became demon folk, and he then became Snake Man. Now, unlike most, he was an entertainer, storyteller, and he became quite flamboyantly dressed, you could say. He learned some music, some tricks up his sleeve, and he decided he wanted to become famous. So, in doing that, his slick-skinned self decided to make his way to the academy, in which he's hoping to find fame and glory.
Awesome. Dom, do you want to go next?
Sure. I am Agata, a depressed dwarf paladin on a perhaps misguided, abstracted path of revenge. Rough upbringing, resulting in a thorny exterior, I'll say. Generally avoiding being straight talking with people she isn't particularly familiar with. Generally surly, and most recent background of a bandit leading towards a tracker to gain more power and influence. I'll leave it there.
Nice. Cameron?
Hello, I'm Cameron. I play Hrugguhl, a tall, quite gruff, lanky bugbear. pale yellow skin, short, well-kept hair, sort of striking orange cat-like eyes. Wears sort of studded leather armor, but it's all sort of standard issue for humanoids, so none of it really fits his sort of long-lived form properly, with a sort of intricately carved wooden leaf amulet around his neck. He's a gruff guy. He's recently come up from the goblinoid city of Jaloop to join the Tracker Guild.
And Pete.
Yes, my name's Peter. I am playing a Goliath Barbarian named Obsidian Tower. Well, that's his clan name. Everyone else calls him Thordas. He's definitely the tallest of the group and most likely the least clothed of the group, but he makes up for that in power and strength. He's here to try and make a name for himself after one of another Goliath made a name for himself, so he thought he could make a name for himself. And he has now started his adventure to try and make his name bigger than the other Goliaths.
Fantastic. Alright then. So, you are all on the evening before your exam. You're all back in your dorm, sort of getting a night's rest before your exam. As you're all sleeping, and I know the Warforged does its sort of fake sleep. Something happens to you all. You will start to dream, including the Warforged. Where you end up surrounded by fire and darkness. Around you, screaming, howling, roaring, various noises that you never want to hear when you're sleeping, generally. As you look around this monument of spikes and steel, you see a humanoid sitting on a throne of gold, leather, and bones. Looks human, with two just sword hilts on his side, wearing black and gold clothing, sporting a black and gold mask, sitting on his throne. And you can see that you're all sort of at the points of this pentagram. Important thing to note, you cannot move. Try to speak, nothing comes out. Wow. What do we have here? How did you end up here? Yes. I wondered when he would show up again. To meddle. Well, I won't let you do what he thinks he wants you to do. As he says that, he grabs the side of his mask and starts to peel it away. But instead of seeing any skin, this black, like pressurized smoke comes out from behind the mask, grabs you by the wrists, grabs you by the neck, and starts sort of dragging you forward slowly towards him. Fortunately, before you get too far, you're back in your dormitory. As you're sort of starting to recollect yourself after being sort of almost rudely woken up, you see another humanoid cloaked, standing at the base of your beds with arms outstretched towards you. And you hear him say, help me create a world where someone like him cannot be born. And as your eyes sort of focus, the person's already disappeared. As you sort of like are either rubbing your eyes or sort of outstretching yourself, you will see a black mark on your wrists that slowly fade. And now would you like to do?
I mean, before it fades, I'm already prestidigitation trying to get it off.
Is it morning? Truly morning, or is it 2 a.m.
You're
still?
about 2 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
Nobody's drugged me in the night, right? That actually happened to everybody. See?
See.
That shouldn't happen to me.
We all had that same dream? Was it a dream? It feels like a dream.
But wait, hold on. It happened to you, Astra. You do not sleep.
I don't dream.
Not a dream then.
A vision. Dark path. Oh,
Agata
this
takes
does
a
not
sip
bode well.
from the hip flask beside her bed, offers it around to the rest of the party.
Takes it.
Hrugguhl takes gently.
You got an important day ahead of you.
Maybe best not to think on this too much. Agata turns over, pulls the sheets over her head.
What even was that?
I don't know, but I'm going to write it down for later.
Hrugguhl's just feeling the mark. Does it feel weird at all, or it's just a mark on my skin?
It doesn't. You don't feel much. I mean, it's kind of like a. If you've been wearing something for too long, it's sort of like a watch or something. Like that's actually, yeah, like a sweaty watch has just come off you. You know, and I will add as well. You feel still hot. As well, so you feel warm. Even again, the Warforged, your metal feels warm. As well. So I forgot to throw that out there. But again, it does, you know, it does feel like just much like a pressure, you know, bit on your. It does fade, and it returns to normal.
I think before it fades, a Thordas just gives it a quick like sniff and then just a quick lick to see if there's like anything different about it.
I don't know. It won't smell really any of anything or taste of anything.
Thordas, that is disgusting. I prestidigitation his arm to get the saliva off.
What do you mean? Don't you
I mean,
lick anything that you got that looks weird?
It smells like your breath
No.
now. That's you know. Oh, you can, whatever that is.
I'm just gonna go back to sleep, and then Thordas will just pretty much, as the bed sort of creaks, to sort of try and get back into a comfortable position.
Yeah, Agata's snoring already.
Nice.
The figure we saw,
Mhm.
you said they were cloaked. Was there
Yes.
any particular colours, or was it just
It's
sort
quite
of
because it's
silhouette?
quite dark. It would have been quite hard to tell. Have you got?
No dark vision.
If you haven't got dark vision, then definitely not. And obviously, if you did have dark vision, it would just be shades of grey anyway, so you wouldn't really be able to tell.
Yeah, I don't think I have.
And
Oh
they
no, I do have
disappeared.
dark vision, but it would be shades
And then they
of grey.
disappeared. So pretty much.
Like in a
essentially
puff of smoke, or like we bring.
No, like teleported away. They teleported away.
Okay.
But then it's not like a normal.
And the person.
Roll Arcana. About
Me?
for that, yeah, for that. If you want to sort of think about this teleportation, how they disappeared.
Yeah, Agata will dream about the teleportation.
Sure.
Arcana.
Oh, my Arcana's actually really low. It's terrible. 15?
14.
So it's kind of like teleportation, but it's not at the same time. It's really weird. It's like, because normally with teleportation, it's like, you know, it's like a sort of a light almost. Like and it's a bit like Star Trek teleportation. You kind of like zoom off, you know, you like flash up. But there wasn't like anything like that. It almost just like, it just faded. You know, they just faded away. Kind of thing, but not like a ghost. It's really weird. You can't really put your finger on it, but it's not teleportation that you normally know it.
We didn't get race, did we? Just a hooded humanoid.
No, you no one looked as such.
No, it was just.
It was very
Tall
quick.
or
This is the
short
thing. It was
figure?
very quick when it happened. All you know is that they would be fairly sort of tall, like normal build. You know, they weren't like muscular or anything. They weren't short. You know, tall and medium build.
So tall, dark, and pleading for savior. Yeah, sounds good. Sounds like my type.
I bet.
Hrugguhl will just have a search around the quarters and just check nothing's astray, and also check to see if the door is still locked as we'd come in.
Yeah, no, everything seems fine. Nothing has been disturbed as well. So that door has not been opened.
Can't do anything magically. My brain is just going like, don't have any abilities yet.
No.
Perhaps it's part of the test. We should rest.
So we're just going back to bed?
Hrugguhl will stay up a little and laying and then go to sleep.
I wonder if Sebastian could go back to bed. I feel like he'd stay up for a little bit, but eventually crash because
You'd be tired.
he'll be tired. But he will
Cool.
probably stay up, maybe past Hrugguhl.
So, we come to the morning. Bright, sunny morning. It is the morning of your exam. Now, you don't need to necessarily be there until about 10:30 is when your exam starts. So, you've got more than enough time to prepare yourselves, get breakfast, do whatever last minute things you want to do before you go and take your test.
Now that it's daylight, are there any footprints, markings on the floor? Nothing at all.
It's like it never happened.
Oh, that's horrible. Right.
Either that or they're very good at covering their tracks.
Mi amigos, we should get ready.
Agreed.
So where are you gonna go? Obviously you've got the mess hall where you can go eat. Sort of across of where you are is where the exam area is. I think most of you have. I think apart from Sebastian, I think everyone has actually taken an exam at least once. So you're pretty familiar to where the exam area is. Like it's not going to be hard for you to find. So you're free to move over there whenever it is you want to, whenever.
Mi abuela always said, start with a full stomach. We should go eat.
That's I
Agreed.
can totally agree on.
You go to have breakfast. It's the same side of breakfast you've had pretty much every time. Toast, eggs, milk if you want it, whatever it is you want, tea, coffees. Pretty much standard affair. You're not going to get croissants here. You're not getting. None of that. You're not getting a breakfast bagel. You're not getting any of that. It's
Well, that's good.
Pastry.
There's
You
gonna
know.
be meat though, right?
Yeah, there'll be some meats, like
That'll
dry,
be.
your dry meats.
Dried meats, nothing fried.
No, none of
Aw.
that. They
Real,
save
salted
they
pork.
save that stuff for the evening. But yeah, for the morning, they kind of
jonesing.
give you that sort of egg protein and more than anything to get you up. You might get some bacon. Actually, you'll get some bacon. You can get some
Good.
bacon if you do.
That's good. That's enough.
Okay, then I'm happy.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Sebastian takes like 2 bites of his toast and probably slides it over to Thordas.
Yeah.
And probably like scrapes a little bit off his plate to Agata. It's just like,
You don't even need to
I
scrape it.
cannot eat.
That bacon is sliding off. You don't need to scrape that in any way.
Thordas is already there with like 4 or 5 plates filled with stuff.
how can you eat like this? I'm so nervous.
Can't fight on an empty stomach.
Yeah,
I'm not
it's
saying you're wrong,
Something
but I cannot
down.
eat.
Can you
Nausea.
drink?
Definitely not.
when you
looks like
grow
that
to
in
become
the
my
weather time.
size, you need to eat way more than you think.
Well, as you can tell, Thordas, I am very much not your size. I am maybe a quarter of your size.
But
It's a
you
fair-
grow, right?
Oh, Thordas. One day, you shall meet my family. And they will show you how small we actually are.
Wait, you guys get smaller?
I am quite big for my people. At least my familia.
Thordas is just like, look straight.
I think the actual based on height, Thordas is what, 7 foot or something ridiculous.
Getting close to
Um,
8 foot.
Yeah,
I'm under half your height, I think.
Yeah, you are literally.
Yeah,
like
you are
half
tiny.
height. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are small.
Hmm.
I think you're like 4 foot. I think 4 foot nothing.
I think I'm
roughly.
3 something.
Oh, is it? So yeah, you are small.
I'm teeny.
Okay.
I will quickly just sideline over to Astra. Mi amigo, are you okay? for someone who does not dream, to have your first dream be something like that is maybe a little disconcerting.
It can't have been a dream. That's the only logical conclusion.
See, lo siento. I'm sorry, but I just want to make sure you're okay.
I am performing satisfactorily. It's a fine day, and I'm sure we will do enough to pass our test.
Magnifico. Well, I am not eating anymore. Are you all done?
Yeah.
Thordas will just grab whatever's left over and just quickly
Yeah,
just stuff it all in
Agata's
his
fighting
face.
you for it, definitely.
Oh, you were making me feel sick.
Tipping Sebastian's plate into her mouth, getting it all everywhere down
Pretty
the
much getting
chainmail.
close to like Kirby level, just like
Yeah.
just hoover.
You need to learn to eat, boy. It'll help you grow big and strong.
Especially when it's
I
free.
don't think I get much bigger than this. This is pretty much me.
To be fair, snakes only eat like once a month, right? So
More than that.
biologically,
I'll take it.
makes sense.
Fair enough.
I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean,
Just gotta find you like an ostrich egg.
I'll have a
Yeah.
I'll have a hearty meal at the end of the month. That'll be
Yeah.
fine.
I mean, obviously, being a humanoid snake, his body's much bigger and more complicated, so obviously requires a little bit more sustenance
It's
than
fine.
once.
Shh, it's fine. It's fine.
So yeah, I mean, nothing exciting will happen. It's breakfast, so you will eat that without much of an issue. So you'll reach you to about 10 o'clock.
Quick question. Are there any other notable applicants? Do we know who else has taken the test today?
Nobody else has taken the test today.
Nobody else has taken the test today,
No,
and there's not a
because-
competitive element to it anyway, is there? So.
No, exactly. I mean, you're all kind of aiming for the same thing.
Mhm.
Also, an exam is 24 hours. Typically, maximum. You have 24 hours to do the thing. So, you've basically had your slot. This is when you've booked your slot, essentially. This is your day. You basically... The way it would work is you would say, okay, I want to do a test. And then you essentially book when you want to do it. If it's available straight away, you do it. It's whenever you decide. So this is basically the day that you've decided on doing it, or what was available. So yeah, no one else is doing it today. They need that time to prep the creature, send the creature, and then you venture in, basically. So it's just you. So which means obviously people are looking at you, talking amongst themselves, judging. Do you think they're going to do it? I don't know. Although
Yes, we're gonna do it. Stop
Yeah.
staring.
I was
look
gonna
at-
say, anytime I
look at-
hear
they look
anything,
at,
I'm
like,
just
they
like,
look at
"Don't worry, mi
Sebastian."
amigos. We will do this.
they look at Sebastian, very doubtful. Look at Thordas. Look at Thordas and Astra especially. I think more than anyone else, and be like, well, I don't know. You've got these two wild cards essentially. That everyone was pining for these two. And they end up in the same team. So.
We are going
But
to
then
be
you got
great.
Sebastian. So it's like,
Without me, they would not be together. It's all down to us. It's fine.
yeah. But that's the general vibe you're getting at breakfast.
Can we get a sense of if anyone else had the similar vision last night?
You can ask around. Yeah, you can ask around. Do you ask around?
But not necessarily.
but
I'm asking directly, but do you have anything weird happen last night? Do you have any dreams about anything strange?
Send Sebastian to ask. He's
Oh.
good at that kind of thing.
And anything fire, brimstone, weird mask thing?
No. Did have to go visit the little boys' room every now and again. That was pretty dire. I had some pretty nasty chili last night, so it's
It's not really what we were looking for. But,
No.
Well, I did
Good to
say
know.
fire and brimstone. It did sound like it's coming out of
was-
the other end.
No,
So.
that's fair. That's fair.
it was pretty dire. I mean, I'm feeling a
just
little bit
gonna-
better, but everything's really sore downstairs. If you know what I mean.
I'm so sorry. I guess
Have you got any cream or something actually? while
I
you're
can
here?
I can help you a little bit with
Oh.
something, and I just
Oh,
press
okay.
hesitation to make him smell of flowers.
That's not really
Rose.
helping. It still really hurts.
No, I'm just making him smell of roses. I'm just like, I can only mask the smell, my friend.
That doesn't smell. It just hurts, man. What were you doing?
I'm just making sure you don't have to worry about anybody else noticing. Okay?
Oh my goodness. Just go do your test.
Adios.
But yeah, that's the general consensus you get. No one really had any sort of similar experience. People had dreams, as they do, but nothing kind of to the level that you had, and all the intensity that you kind of had. So. No.
And in terms of the lore of the land, are there any legends or tales about black armor with a gold trim?
I mean, you'll have to roll history for that one.
I will.
Oh, please let me.
It depends if you're, but
We're chatting about it over breakfast.
I was going
My
to say, I
history is thank-
definitely have this same question.
We can guidance it a little bit if you want. I can run a helpful subroutine and give you some guidance.
Sick.
I'm
I got
not sure if
19
it's
anyway, so I'll
worth
take the guidance on top
using-
of that.
I was going to say, I don't know if I should bardic inspiration or not.
No, we
Tempted.
don't need it. That's 21 total, Sonny.
21 total.
Yep.
Okay. I mean, obviously, it's we're talking black and gold stuff, right? I mean, it's people. There's a lot of stuff in the world that's like that. I mean, obviously, the most prominent and obviously the most poignant to your backstory is obviously Talion was dressed like that. The Talionites have a very black and gold thing going on, but then a lot of people copy that. A lot of black and gold has become kind of from that has spawned out to be quite popular. There's certain cults out there, which I'll sort of talk about at some later date, that have that sort of colouring, who are like, it's like a cult around the demon gates. They kind of have a black and gold thing going on. So it's like, there is that side of it. But then, that would be a bit weird because as far as the stories go, like, Talion was killed. He died fighting Neveros, as did, Arg, one of the other overthrowers. They both died. So, kind of been that. So maybe it's a copycat, maybe it's or something else completely. Who knows?
A lead is a lead.
If that's it, you finished breakfast. You've got about half an hour before your thing's due to start.
On the way
Sweet.
there, I just want to whisper kind of to everyone. Being that nobody else has seemingly had this dream problem, did anybody have this kind of thing happen when they took the test?
No.
First, the man.
My assumption then it is unrelated, and we should probably keep it in the back of our minds.
In this half hour, if nobody else has anything to do, I'll hunt down Tilfig, the gnome warlock, Agata's previous companion, and just say, big day for me. This is probably
was-
the last time we'll see each other.
What was he,
All
half?
the best.
Was he a gnome or a halfling? What was
I've
he?
got gnome
He's a
written down.
gnome.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine.
She just lets him know gently that this will be the last time they see each other.
But yeah, one way or another for Agata. No, yeah, because you've taken the test twice already. There should be a third. So, and if you fail 3 times, you're out basically. You're just not cut out for this type of work.
She doesn't wait for a response from him. She walks
Oh.
away and rejoins the party.
I don't really believe in you. You can do this.
That seemed very brief, Agata. Did you want more time, or?
Why would I want more time? We should get going.
Of course. No, yep. See.
So are you making your way to the sort of exam area then? Cool. So, when you get there, you meet someone you all know, Riordan, who is the only living overthrower, and he obviously runs the Tracker organization. So with Riordan, he's sporting very fancy leather armor. He has 2 weapons strapped to his side. A black short sword with a silvered. So it's all black. The blade is black. The handle is black, but the blade itself is silver, and it's a serrated. It's got a serrated edge on one side, very fancy. And the other side is just a hilt. Now this hilt is legendary. He has the only sword of its kind. You don't know much about it apart from the legends, but all you know, it's like like an elemental sword that just like the blade just appears out of nowhere and makes him do crazy things. Not many people see it happen. There are legends about it. Like it just makes him move so fast, you just can't see him, or it just in an instant he'll just drop a whole bunch of guys. You know, it's ridiculous. Apparently he talks to it, or it talks to him. Not really sure, but it's crazy. It's a legendary thing. Probably the first time you're really seeing it up close. Because while Riordan is obviously in charge of everything, he only ever really comes out for things like exams or any other important things. So obviously you all would have met him when you did the exam the first time.
Okay, so
But
Seb would be fangirling probably right now in the background because he wouldn't have met him, I imagine.
no. And then with him will be another person you'll know of, who is basically a it's right hand assistant. So he's a black dragonborn, with a sort of like, well, you would kind of get like a dragonborn scaly ash business, white hair. His name's Kagnar. He's basically his like I said, basically kind of his assistant, kind of thing. And again, they both sort of, you know, are always here. So as you sort of enter, Riordan greets you all. Welcome. So I take it you are all coming to take the test today.
Sure
Yes.
is.
See, yes. Sorry.
Excellent. Kagar, tell them what they need to learn and what they need to know.
Wait, quick question for you, sir. Do you happen to fancy any weird dream last night? Because we had a weird one. It was just strange.
Astra, you can't ask the head.
No.
Do you know anyone else who carries a hilt like yours?
It's a what the fuck?
Yeah. It's like
What-
fire, brimstone, guy on a throne, like black and gold, and wears a mask. The weird thing. Do you know that?
That seems like a very fanciful dream you guys had.
Not a dream.
I don't dream though.
Whatever. Well, I don't know what you Warforged. How you guys sleep or whatever, but maybe I don't know. Something else was, I don't know, but not a clue. Sounds fun, I guess. Sure.
It was really hot. Did not like that place.
No, it's not. Doesn't.
There was
yeah,
some guy on a
probably not.
throne. Didn't feel like a good omen. Is that something you
yes,
do as a
it
test? Is
seems
that
like
like a
something-
pre-test or something?
No, well, it's got nothing to do with us. So, it sounds like to me that's probably just a place you want to generally avoid.
And maybe we should talk about this after the exam, in more of an environment where maybe we're actually
Sure.
attackers.
Sure.
When
That
he
was
claimed he
directed,
had
by
no
the way,
knowledge.
at Astra and Agata, where I'm looking at them, wondering what the fuck, guys.
We've had this preamble before, you know. Taking the opportunity to get more valuable
It
information.
is Riordan. Why?
Astra doesn't hold himself to such a standard.
There's valuable information to
Societal,
be had.
societal norms do not bow to, or Astra's not bow to societal norms.
No, that's
This
very
is
fair.
embarrassing.
It's
So
fair.
embarrassing.
So yeah,
When he claimed that it was nothing to do with the test, did Hrugguhl get any sense of if he's being on the level about that?
Yeah, I kind of wanted to insight check him as well.
Yeah,
He's
me
dead.
too. I wanted to.
okay. Well, if you want to
Okay.
roll
God
insight,
does not
well,
trust
Charisma, man.
tell me what you're rolling insight on specifically.
I'm most interested in the hilt thing. I don't know if it's too late to check
The hilt
that.
thing? No, it's fine. We
Yeah.
can go back because
I was more interested if when we said black and gold mask, if there was any recognition there.
And I was
gold
most
mask
interested.
recognition. Okay.
And I was interested in when he claimed it was no part of the test and nothing to do with them, whether he
Okay.
was being honest.
Let me
Got
get
good
Reardon's-
coverage here.
Yes,
Yeah, we
we
do.
have. I'm gonna get Reardon's sheet up so I know what he's got. All right. Let's do
I
this
go
piece
first?
by. Let's do piece by piece. Go and then Agata, you go first.
So 7 base. With insight plus 3, 10.
Okay. And what was your thing again? Sorry, remind me.
That was asking if he knew of anybody else who had a hilt like his. Or even knew of any other hilts like his.
You get the sense that he knows. He's seen him before. It's not the only one.
Press him after the test.
Sebastian.
19.
For God's sake. Screw my rolls, man. I thought you did well then. What was your one? Your one was.
Mine was if there was any recognition when we were asked. While I didn't want it to be mentioned, while it was mentioned about the black and gold mask person, and
There
vision.
was a very slight eye twitch. Hrugguhl's?
19.
What is wrong with you people? Right. And your one was what? Sorry, part of the test.
Yeah.
That one seemed fine.
Okay.
He genuinely was like, "Why would we? Yeah, why would we do that?"
Okay.
He was a bit like, "What?" Yeah, he was definitely more perplexed on that one when you asked him that. Anyone else?
Do you like watch over people when we're about to do their test? I didn't have one last time, but this time, after the vision thing, there was a person watching over us. Is that not a thing you do as well?
Man in our room.
Our door was locked as well. That was very strange.
Did you get anything from this person? What they
Look,
looked
as
like?
we're unpacking it now, they disappeared in like a teleporting kind of way, and it looked a bit different than any kind of teleporting we've ever seen before. They were a silhouetted, cloaked figure in the night saying, "Make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else, or save the world, or whatever."
It's like a fancy.
Okay, fine.
He
There,
didn't- he
spill the
didn't-
beans. Everything go. Thanks, everyone. Great.
Okay,
Why are you
so you're not
blaming
gonna
me?
let
I
him
didn't
carry
say
on. Alright,
anything.
fine.
Thordas.
No.
What?
Alright. Oh, okay. We're just gonna skip over that. Fine. Okay. Fine then. We'll carry on. Kagnar. Tell them what they need to know. Kagnar, sir. Kagnar. Yeah. Sorry. Yes, Kagnar. Right. So some of you have done this already. We're gonna release a beast behind that gate behind me. Yeah. Well, I don't know why he's looking at his watch. Probably in about 10 minutes, he'll arrive.
10 minutes?
Yes, in 10 minutes. They're
Well-
bringing the cage.
We were talking about the figure. Is that not thing you do?
Oh, well, we'll look into it. We'll look
Oh.
into it. Because it is a security risk. People shouldn't be coming in here. Me and Reardon will have a word about this. Separately, talk to security. Find out how it happened. Find out anything we can. And if
Report
it's
back to us.
if it was teleported away, there'll be some magic probably left over. We can figure it out. Okay?
All right.
Gracias. Thank you.
So yes, when we release the beast, we will leave it for about an hour. In that time, you can suit up in the armory, talk tactics, whatever you want to be doing. once you go in, you will have 24 hours to find, kill, and bring back proof of that beast's defeat.
What is the beast?
You won't know. The tracker has a point, as you should know from your studies. It's not always known to a tracker what they're in for. And even if they got an inkling, corruption is a funny thing. As he sort of finished explaining, almost on cue, a big metal box appears on a sort of like a wagon, and is placed down in front of the gate. And so, if you've ever seen, the beginning of Jurassic Park, it's essentially that is the scene you are seeing right now. This thing is thrashing around. Now, this thing is obviously heavily. They're a lot smarter than the people in Jurassic Park. This thing is way more stabilized. This thing, while it gets knocked around, doesn't get bent out of shape. Whatever this thing is made out of, it's strong. But they press it up, lock it in place with sort of, clasps, loads of them, locks it in place. Lift up the sheet. Sorry, yeah.
Before it runs, Hrugguhl's eyes focus in and lock in it as I cast Hunter's
You can't
Mark.
see it. So this is.
I can't see it.
You cannot see it. It's a solid box.
How big is
Now,
it?
obviously, it's enough for a large creature.
Okay.
You have
And
no
it
idea how
looks like
big.
the creature has enough weight or force to push this thing around, right? Did you say it
At
was
least
like-
enough to make noise in there. Again, this thing is sturdy. It is heavy. It cannot budge this thing.
It's not budging the thing. Okay.
It's not budging the thing, but it is making noise.
We can hear
a
something
lot.
banging around in there.
Yeah. It's thrashing around in there. Now, obviously, you can do whatever it is you want to do with that, because obviously you've got noise. You haven't got sight, but you've got noise. But basically, when they release the slat to basically release the door that goes upwards, this thing charges out and it's gone. You can hear it going.
I was going to say, we don't get a look at it, do we? It just
Not
charges,
at all.
like,
No.
gone.
We're not standing on stone, are we?
I would have thought this place more as dirt than necessarily
Okay.
stone.
Worth a try.
But
Good
I mean, the
effort.
walls are stone, obviously. But yeah, this place is more because obviously they're having to move this stuff. The stone kind of just scrapes along the thing, so they just make it all dirt. Makes it easier. So no, it's dirt. Yeah. Did any of you want to do anything with that?
This is going to sound very strange. Are there any small creatures nearby?
Good shout.
No. I mean, what?
Like in the
'Cause
bush?
remember,
I'm talking,
so
I'm talking like
basically,
rats, squirrels.
We
Yeah,
should have prearranged
anything.
our squirrel friend.
yeah. No, in this area, no, because there's no this is a very man-made bit. Like all the nature stuff's out there. Everything here is more closed off. Because again, in case it escapes, at least it would only be again contained. It's fail-safes basically. So, they've done this for a while. They've tried to make it as safe as possible. Sure, Riordan's here. I mean, he's probably single-handedly could kill any one of these things without much of an issue. But again, you want as many fail-safes as possible. So, no, there are no other creatures in here. In case, I don't know, the creature can somehow teleport its mind to a creature nearby, like a beast or something, because that's, a thing that some
Couldn't
creatures can do.
retrospectively say that I picked up a squirrel on the walk.
You wouldn't have been allowed in with it.
All right, fair.
So,
We don't endanger
the-
other creatures here. It's...
I'm
no,
not
I mean the
angry.
only things they would allow for
Insulation.
stuff like that is they know people who train as rangers will typically will sometimes have a companion
Right.
creature. So that they would allow if it's part of what you do, but like a squirrel's a squirrel or a rodent
It's
isn't
his
going to be
squirrel.
that, unless it was like a
It's an Astra.
familiar. But again, a familiar has its own
Yeah.
magical
it's
signature, right?
effectively-
So,
yeah.
so yeah, if you just pick up a squirrel and bring it, like they're not going. No, they're not going to go for that.
That's fine.
So
You could smuggle it in.
you could.
It's a bit late for that.
Probably not best to risk that with an overthrower, especially one of Reardon's stature. But you
It's a
could certainly
softie,
try. Well, you don't know how the years have treated him, you know. So yeah. Now it's really. Oh, sorry. Did you want to do anything else? Sorry, with anything else? No.
I can't
Alright.
think of anything.
No,
Cool.
I can't think of anything helpful.
No, fine. Well, with that then, the armory is behind here. Most of you know where that is. Go get your equipment and come back in an hour. And he leaves you to it. Reardon and Kagnar basically start having conversations about the potential intruder in the dorms.
Do you know our
Yes,
dorm
we'll just-
room, by the way? Just
Yes.
okay.
Yeah,
Anyway.
Thordas will head off to the armory. He's already going.
Hrugguhl go
Yeah.
with him.
Agata's going quickly as well, but she wants to catch up with Reardon if she gets the chance.
I mean, he's just going to stand. He's going to just be standing there.
Good.
So if you want it, yeah. So I mean, you'll easily go to the armory. The guy's just a normal, like a normal human male. He will basically greet you and give you any gear, any standard gear that you want from the equipment list. So, like I said, if you want plate, you can get plate. If you want a great sword, you can get a great sword. If you want a longbow, you can get a longbow, so on and so forth. So you can get basically whatever it is you want. It's on loan, so you will have to give it back. But for the purpose of this exam, you can deck yourself out in whatever standard gear you want to, essentially. You don't need to tell me necessarily what you're getting. Just update it on your things, basically, and go from there.
Hrugguhl will just be testing all the longbows, finding one that he feels best to.
Yeah. No,
Agata's looking for the heaviest heavy crossbow she can find.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, you'll definitely be able to find whatever it is you're looking for without much of an issue. They do, they obviously they do stock like a healthy supply of everything in various sizes, because again you've got people of various builds, so they got to be able to cater to like a half orc all the way down to a halfling. So you'll have stuff of various weights, various sizes. They obviously do all the same stuff, but so like armor, for example, they'll have plate for every single kind of build, multiple kinds. So this place is decked out, well stocked.
Would I be able to upgrade to studded leather?
Yeah,
Or-
like I said, they'll have all of that. So if you want to upgrade for the studded leather for this test, you're more than welcome to.
I'm taking plate mail, slipping it under my cool bandit captain.
Yep.
Red
Obviously,
jacket.
obviously he is writing down everything, so that you have to give it back.
Is there any
best-
dye or paint around in the armory?
No, because they got to give this out to other people, right? They're not gonna.
I say to Agata, seeing that she's looking for paints, I'm just like, what do you want on there? Just tell me.
Something bright. Big gold streak.
I use prestidigitation to make a magic mark, which will last an hour, and it is a gold streak
Cool.
just across the chest.
Across the chest, or like a cross, like a skull and crossbones or something.
Yeah.
Cool.
Pretty sure I can do whatever I like with it. I'll just draw it, my finger in the air.
Nice. What is that? Prestidigitation. Okay.
Prestidigitation.
Nice.
Good
Okay.
work.
It's only going to be for an hour, but enjoy it.
That's all we need.
I can do it again in another hour.
Yeah, you got to keep it topped up.
Thordas is just grabbing the biggest great axe they have.
No, yeah, there'll be some. Like, I mean, obviously they'll give you the one that's sort of more tailored to something like a half orc.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's a big, heavy great axe for you. When you've all stocked up, they'll say, "Cool, like very good." They'll also give you each a potion of healing. So you'll all get a potion of healing each. That one you obviously don't have to return, because that'd be a bit weird. So
Well,
have
if you
that
don't
there.
use it,
If you don't use it, keep it.
I will take the opportunity to accost Reardon outside.
Okay, yeah, you'll be there.
I need to know what you remember of the other overthrowers.
I mean, a lot. They're my friends.
Then start talking.
We don't really have time for that. I mean, is that? What quick thing do you really want to know? This is not an interview. I've got things to do. I'll give you one.
Fine.
Give you one question.
What do you remember of the small one?
Well, Cirilla. Cirilla was a bit of a, she was all right. She was a bit all over the place every now and again.
All right.
Yeah. Well, that's a bit of a weird condition you got there, for sure. Yeah, she was fine. She was had a bit of a thing for half orcs, but yeah, she was always trying to do stuff, sort us out here or there, that kind of thing, smacking stuff with her didgeridoo as she does.
Helpful, you're saying?
Oh, and disintegrating. She was very good at disintegrating. Yeah. Ah, Miss Cirilla. There you go. There's your one.
She walks off.
These fans.
I would have watched that like a hawk, because I'd be very nervous about Agata doing any talking to anyone whatsoever.
Oh yeah.
Perfectly polite.
It seemed like he handled it very well.
Is there anything anyone else would like to do before the test begins? I don't know if me changing this time is working for the rest of you as well.
I've not had it open.
I've got
Yeah, it is.
It is. It's saying 10:45.
Cool.
Yep.
So yeah,
Hrugguhl try and get a cheeky look if there are any cracks in the wall, but
all's fine.
yeah.
You can tell whatever was here scarpered quick. And you can't obviously, they've shut the gate, so you can't see anything past the gate. Is there anything else anyone wants to do before we start the test?
Pray.
Hands in.
Fair.
Yeah, pray.
This.
Do your hands in.
Actually,
See,
no.
hands in. Let us do this.
Agata would sieve, not pray, but that's more or less the same thing for her. Regardless, she'll put her hand in when the time is right.
Very well.
I
Hrugguhl
think
looks
Thordas will be the
reluctantly.
first one to put it in, then everyone else just go place their hands above his, like, mean fucking hands.
Even with all the hands on top, you still see Thordas's hand pretty clear. Like, all your hands are pretty much only covering that part of it.
Thordas is literally having to kneel down just to make sure everyone else could just, like, reach
Yeah.
it.
Thinking about Sebastian's little hand reaching up.
I was just like this.
Yeah. It's like almost like when a baby grabs a thumb, that's
I was
the
going to say,
size.
I'm probably on Thordas's thumb. I'm just like that.
Yeah.
Hooked on.
Yeah.
Mi amigos, let us do this.
Alrighty then. So,
Okay, vámonos.
Just leave me to take care of everything. Just let me tank.
Let's get her done.
We'll do what is best. I believe in us.
So you guys, this is the map of the continent of Zia. So obviously this section, middle one, is where the Tracker Academy is. This giant wall is the wall that you were basically at. So I've put you basically all here. So you kind of at the entranceway here. So this section that you're in now, where all these thicker trees are, that is the exam area. So like as they said, you've basically got 24 hours to find and kill and bring back proof.
Hrugguhl will immediately make a beeline for tracks.
Yep, no. I mean, one thing that will be very clear is obviously something has rushed through here. And very also clear, you're seeing webs
Webs.
Seeing webs. That definitely doesn't require a perception check.
Any sense of size, number of legs?
So that you'll need
Anything.
you'll need to do a survival check for.
I'll run some helpful subroutines.
Helpful subroutines. They're gonna add your default.
I was about to say, I'm going to tap him on the shoulder. I'm just going to say, as you search and hunt for your prey, you too shall have the strength and creativity as a predator, the eyes of an owl, and the swiftness that catches it.
Double
Small
guidance.
Spectral owl.
God,
Wise
double
owl.
guidance in the party. That's gonna be
Bardic,
entertaining.
Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, Bardic Inspiration. Okay, Bardic Inspiration and guidance. Fine.
Sebastian, that was beautiful.
Mi amigo, if I can do anything in this team, it is use my words to encourage others.
What do I roll for the Bardic Inspiration as well if I want to add? If I'm
It's a
adding that?
D6.
You can choose whether you do that or not, because I think it lasts for was it 1 minute, 10 minutes,
Next hour.
hour.
And
So you could store it if you wanted to, but yeah.
At what point do I decide
It's after
if I'm
the roll,
using
right?
Let me see. They're all different nowadays.
As
Yeah.
a bonus action, you can inspire another creature within 60 feet that can see or hear you. That creature gains one of your Bardic Inspiration dice once within the next hour. When the creature fails a D20 test,
So
the
you
creature
know
can
when it
roll the
failed.
Bardic Inspiration. So you're allowed to fail it first before you use it.
Well, I don't. Probably not going to need it. 21.
So you're finding tracks, right?
I'm looking for tracks, but so I want to also get a sense as much as possible of anything I can learn about this creature: size, number of legs, way it's walking, anything.
Okay. So with a 21, so you can quite easily tell that this thing has 6 legs on either end, and they're quite pointy. So you'll notice that the tracks aren't left with like feet or anything weird like that. They're like circular holes that puncture the ground. They go quite deep. They probably go about that deep into the ground. And the hole itself is probably about that big each. But with the spacing of them, you can probably guess there's about 6 legs. 3 on each side.
And from the depth in the soil, can I guess the weight?
I think for 21, you can probably surmise it is, I think, a medium creature. Medium. It's a medium creature. That kind of range, basically.
I convey all of this.
Interesting. Now, if the webs are anything to go by, Hug, correct me if I am wrong. Don't spiders have 8 legs?
Usually.
So we're saying not a spider.
Are the 6 legs sort of equally, like, are they in line? Do I get any sense of? Or is it like, basically my thinking, is this like a spider that's lost some legs, or is this a 6-legged creature?
Okay, I see what you mean. The 6 seem like they're all next to each other
Okay.
naturally. Like there's not like 2, a gap and a 1. It is
Yeah.
just 3. Now whether that means the back ones have gone or the front ones have
course.
gone, you have no idea. But those 3 on each side are close to each other. And we will get with a 21 that it's probably going in this half. I'll give you that much
I think
on the
that's
21.
it started moving. Let's start following the tracks.
Well, the tracks are all over the place. So, like I said, the tracks is only going to tell you top half. That's as much as you're going to get.
Okay.
Because the webs are everywhere. So that what this thing's probably done is just marked its territory everywhere. But it's clearly like fanned out in that direction, but it's gone all over the place. So there's holes everywhere.
Can I find a squirrel now?
How much time are you going to find? How much time are you going to give to finding a squirrel?
I will give up to, well, I don't know if everyone else will, but I will give up to 20 minutes. But if everyone else starts moving, Sebastian is far too afraid to stay on his own. So if everyone's like, oh no, we're leaving, then Seb's going to move.
How much do we as a party know about the hunting habits of a spider? I need to roll for that.
Well, for spider versus huge spiders.
Yeah, I mean, the problem you've got is, while that can possibly help, and you're more than welcome to go down that avenue, it's never a sure thing, because obviously, again, the effects of corruption, especially onto a demon spawn,
Yeah.
you know,
This
like,
guy's a
which is,
freak.
it could be anything, it could do anything, right? Like, you don't, it might not even have been a spider to begin with. It could have been turned into a spider-like creature.
Yeah.
It could have been a horse, and it's got 6 legs. You have no idea. You know? It just shoots out spider webs. So it's very difficult to be like, unless it was like a spider to begin with, then maybe that information would help, but you just don't know at this point. But you're more than welcome to go down that avenue
Just
if
as
you
a
want to roll a history check.
reckless-
Nature check.
Mm. I'll do the nature check anyway, but I'm probably still gonna do the thing I was gonna do.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna keep looking for a little
Yeah.
animal friend.
8.
Yeah. Hrugguhl will help
8.
you look for like the first 15 minutes.
8.
Yeah.
Spiders like making webs.
So I was like making webs. I'm gonna
Catch all their flies, man.
Yeah.
gonna chop one of the webs with my sword.
Okay. You chop it.
How
How does it? It doesn't disintegrate my sword or anything, presumably.
No, your sword is fine.
Mhm.
It's quite tough. It's thicker than obviously a normal thing. It's not like going through a natural web. It's almost you're cutting, not quite a vine, but about probably the half the intensity of a vine, or half the like the give take of a vine. So it's like, it's strong. It's this because obviously if you're imagining the strength of a normal web versus the size of a normal spider, if you scale that up to a medium creature and what the strength of those webs have to be, it's sort of scaled in that sense. So this thing have to support the weight of a medium creature.
Yeah, like as strong
Is-
as vines or rope or something like that. Okay.
is how are the webs orientated? Are they all going off in like different long strand
Cool. So
connections,
they're not-
or are
so
they
when I
just
say-
kind of
yeah.
like little mini
So-
connections?
So it's webs, not cobwebs. So they're not like in a net pattern at this early stage. From what you can tell, basically they're just shooting up in random directions. From
They're
what you can tell,
singular strands.
they're just they're just singular strands like are firing off.
Okay. So if we're
Remember, this
supposed to
thing
make
only
the
had
web
an
its
hour,
whole
so
place,
it's not gonna.
trying to make
be
this
able
whole
to-
place into its web, or it's just using them to hunt, right?
Yes, that is my thinking. If this is a type of predator, such as a spider, the webs, it will use this to notify it if anything is in a certain area. Much like you stabbing that web over there, probably just alerted it to where we are.
So assume it's stalking us already. This works in our favor.
Does it?
Should we have a look around? Can I do a perception check?
Yeah, are you gonna do the perception straight away, or are you gonna let these guys? Or you gonna wait for these guys to
I'll wait.
finish?
I'll wait my turn.
Okay,
If,
that's fine.
if Agata's just done that, cut a web, I would, and we've just had that conversation, cut dead what we're doing and be like,
I would highly suggest that we avoid the webs and move over into this direction, so we maybe aren't exactly where we just maybe possibly set off a trap.
Agreed.
So you're going to the bottom half where there's less webs. Is that what you're saying?
not necessarily the bottom half. My thinking is where the web just got cut down, moving to a slightly different area where there's still a lot of webs, but to try avoid the webs
Yeah.
while we're moving.
Okay, so if you're gonna
Heads
do
up.
that, you're gonna have to treat this area as difficult terrain.
I think that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, because you're trying to specifically like.
Yeah,
Dodge
it's
these things.
it's
It's not
steady.
like
we're not
entrapment level
sprinting.
laser room,
We're
but
like
yeah.
steadily moving around.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Thordas, don't step on that.
What? Wait, what?
They're so big, it's very difficult to avoid these things, but just step around the webs.
I don't see why we don't just stay here, wait for it to come to us.
Because you don't know where it is coming from. If we can get an advantageous position, we can set up a trap, watch it come in, and attack it.
Better to have the element of surprise. I agree with Boy.
God, what happens if it finds us before we find it?
That is why we are avoiding the webs.
Hrugguhl's arming himself with his bow.
Yeah, I'll prep the crossbow as well. Why not?
I will still keep an eye out for little squirrels or rats or something of a small variety that I might spot
Okay.
along the way.
Hrugguhl will help with that search.
At the moment, you have found none. So, I've put you at about maybe 20 minutes in,
We're still not seeing anything.
and you've not seen any woodland creatures. No birds, no rats, no squirrels,
Scattered.
nothing.
Astra,
Oh,
could you gossip with the trees or something?
That's not how that works, I'm afraid.
I'll praise.
Can we get a sense if there's any like poison coming from that's like leaking from this creature as it's going around?
Like it's leaving a trail?
Well, has it like because it's been firing off webs? Has it also been firing off any level of poison stuff?
Roll me. I'll let that either be perception or nature or survival, whichever one you want to go for.
Let's go with nature. That's the better one for me.
Yeah.
Can Hrugguhl help with that?
How are you helping with it?
Is that a kitty?
Also searching.
I will say to Astra,
Oh boy.
Mi amigo, you are one of a kind. You are the most natural metal man I've ever met. And for that reason, you have the greatest strength of all. And that is the insight of the wisest creature I know.
Really burning through these bardic inspirations, aren't you?
it's only 2.
Does it
How many
overwrite?
you got?
Nope.
No.
Nice.
Give out until my charges run out. I can give them out, and actually you can stack them as well. I can give
Wow.
you.
You can
I
stack 'em
give
now?
you 4 bardic inspirations. You can hold on to them
Wow.
if you wanted to.
Do they come
Yeah.
back with a short rest, or is it only a long?
Long rest for me. And as I've said this,
Actually, you know what I will do, actually? Just want to
A creature can only have one bardic inspiration dice at a time.
Just want to obviously, like, just for on the whole, we are using the new D&D 5e set as well. So that's why, obviously, where we can, because obviously, Yuan-Tis, Warforged, they're not, and Bugbears are not in that. So those are obviously using the old stuff. But where possible, yeah, we're using the new rules.
yeah, the bardic inspiration is. I'm pretty sure I set it to be the new one. So
Yeah, no,
gains
yeah,
one
you
hit
would,
point.
yeah, you would have done because you picked the new class. So I'm just gonna put it out there.
So can it stack with
Okay.
the new one or not?
Doesn't sound like it.
Each creature can have one, but we can't. Each creature can't have more than one.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, can it not? Why did I say that?
The webs, are they
yeah.
sort of exclusively at
Yeah,
like
yeah. A
ground
creature can only
level,
have one
or do
bardic
they-
inspiration time. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Astra,
say that again?
a purple butterfly flies onto you and just rests on your forehead. It's just there. Just gently while you're doing your nature check.
I was asking if the webs reach, if they're like exclusively at like our level, or if they go all the way up to the top of the trees.
It's random, but it is all over the place.
Some of them do go high.
Yeah, and
Okay.
you'll even see some of the hole marks in some of the trees as well. So it's obviously like jammed it in,
Okay.
which, it's had to jam its foot into the tree.
Have we closely examined a hole mark yet?
No, you have not.
Well,
Take the
look for-
opportunity to do that once
look
this
for-
is done.
You've looked at
Poison.
them, obviously. You've looked at them to know the depth and stuff, I suppose, and the size. So you've looked at it in that sense. But Hrugguhl did that.
I suppose you're looking for secretions in those as
looking
well,
for
aren't you?
poison.
No.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're looking for poisons in there, yeah. So
I-
what was your nature?
Can we look specifically at the ones in the trees? Because they'll
Okay.
probably be an interesting.
Am I getting help or?
I think Hrugguhl said he was going to give you help.
Yeah,
Well, you-
Hrugguhl said
we'll-
he was going to give you help, and
That's
I've
a bit-
given you
I
a
think that's
bardic inspiration of.
advantage.
A
And
beautiful mind.
you didn't feel like you had ruled on the yes or no on the help.
I'll allow the help. Yeah, you
Okay,
get advantage. I wanted to see how he was helping you, but yeah,
That, my friends, is a nat 20.
nice. First one.
So that is 20,
Uh,
26 total.
That's right. That's on the nat 20. So, looking at these holes, and I'll throw in the tree holes as well.
I'm looking for poison. That this.
Yeah, yeah. So you don't find any poison.
Cool.
So so in the holes, they just seem to be dug. In the trees, you don't really see. Obviously, some sap is probably coming out. But it's in itself quite interesting. I know obviously you're looking for poisons, but obviously normally when you think about spiders, you think that they sort of have little feelers that they attach, so they grab on. This didn't do that. It rammed its leg in there.
Strong legs.
So just a little bit of information. So it has to. So it's not grabbing, it's jabbing.
It's using claws to climb.
What? Yeah, no, I won't give you. But yeah, otherwise you won't find any poisons anywhere.
Shame.
The webs don't feel
No-
poisoned or anything. There's no poison going through the webs. Because I know you were checking for
No
corrosion on your
leavings.
blade, but there's no, like, if it touched your any organic skin or anything, like, it wouldn't dissolve it or any weird thing like that.
No poison. It's a shame.
Well, that's good. We should get a move on. Our quarry is leaving. Should we start heading northwest?
Well,
Yeah,
see,
we should start moving.
see
would
if it gets more
suggest-
dance.
I would suggest that we find a spot that we like. We set off one of the webs and we prepare for an ambush.
We already set off a web and nothing has come.
We haven't seen anything, but we have moved away.
Not heard anything either.
We can head back to the original spot, but I like the moving around idea more personally.
I am willing to listen to the group.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go where something's thicker. Just see what's going on.
Hrugguhl sort of keep looking for tracks, hoping to try and find anything as fresh as possible as we sort of start to move in the northwest.
You're moving in the
Palisades.
northwest, so you're going, what, this
Yeah, that sort of direction.
This sort of
Mhm.
direction.
Yeah, that sort of direction. Like searching for tracks as best as possible as we go.
Okay, so
Can we
as
draw a
you,
trail on here of where we've been?
well, what you can, I mean, it's pretty much you're moving in a straight line, aren't you? So even if I move you about here, you can draw, I think, on here. So you can draw, so you can kind of draw like a, you know, that sort of thing. Although white probably not the best.
Yes, thank you.
image. But yeah. So, as you head in this direction, can I have another survival from whoever is checking? So I imagine it's Hrugguhl.
Don't forget
Give
you
you
still got your
a
bardic
helpful
inspiration.
subroutine. On
Helpful
top of that,
subroutine.
And you still have a bardic inspiration.
Thank you. That
Yeah,
would be 23.
So, you do notice as you're getting further up, so you head about, so eventually you head up to about here. The concentration of webs is getting thicker, so there's more of them in this direction. You do also see that some of the webs have don't really know what the word for them is, but like a cocoon, like something is wrapped in webs on them. Some of them high up, some of them low down, but some of them have got these sort of like web sacks. I guess
Can we
would,
examine the
guess.
sacks?
Yeah.
You can examine the sacks if you want to.
How big are they? Are they moving?
They are, I think, considered small.
woodland
Considered
creature
small.
sized.
And we
Woodland
haven't
creature
seen.
sized. Yes, woodland creature
Mm.
sized.
I was going to say, if I get my dagger,
So small, I guess. I think squirrels
Yeah.
are small. So,
Cut into
yeah.
one, make sure they're
if I
not
get my
ants.
dagger and start cutting into a cocoon very gently, just
So
start.
as you start cutting into one, a bushy tail comes out.
Oh.
Mi amigo.
Is it alive?
It starts moving. No. It is very dead.
How dead? How recently dead?
I don't know how close are you looking at these.
I'd get pretty close.
You're going to get pretty close.
Agata says a short, non-specific prayer for the dead creature.
Okay, so Hrugguhl's getting close. Anyone else getting close?
I'll keep an eye out of
I'm
anything around
Scanning
us.
our surroundings, yeah.
I mean, I'm
Getting-
there already, so I
yeah.
have a feeling this is going to end very, very poorly.
Sounds like me and Astra on the perception check then.
Yeah. So, all right, you two can roll perception, and then whoever is inspecting this thing can roll me nature.
Or do you want advantage on it
kind of
instead?
look at Hrugguhl.
Let's
and
do it
just
separately.
say,
Hug, I kind of feel like you should probably do the actual looking at the creature.
and I'm just gonna cast heroism on you.
Just in case anything decides to pop out.
Okay.
So that's 5 temp HP. And
Nice.
you are immune to the frightened condition.
How long's that last?
1 minute concentration. It's maybe a bad idea, but I have a feeling.
Nat 1 on investigation. On the nature check.
You have a D6?
It's a nat 1, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Wait,
be
did Twitch?
fine.
Was that Twitch? Is it alive? Oh, no.
No.
Sorry. Sorry to get your hopes up. That's as far as you get.
Yeah, that's fair.
Perceptions.
I
What do you
don't
get?
know.
25.
18.
18 and what?
25.
And you're looking what for the creature?
Just looking for,
Pretty much.
but essentially, but looking for something, if something's coming at us, or
Yeah, any movement, any kind of ambush.
You don't see anything. It's dead quiet. Maybe too quiet.
Too quiet.
look up
Consider
beside there.
camouflage, consider invisibility. Not standing on rock. Nothing I can do.
So yeah, I mean, you will see that as you resort your checks before, is that as you sort of move in this direction, you're seeing more of the same. That wasn't the only sack in this area, but you're seeing a higher concentration of webs as you're moving in that general direction.
Could we get a sense if any of these creatures have been poisoned?
Are you checking?
That's what I'm asking.
Yes, nature.
Can we get a
They
They have a
sense?
squirrel body.
Yes. Do the same check again, please.
Okay, that's a 10. I'll add. I'm assuming 10 total fails.
10 total.
Yeah,
You have a bardic inspiration?
that's what I mean. So that, hence I need
It
to.
would do. Yeah. Sorry. Yes, it would. Yeah, it would. Fail.
Yeah. Okay.
The butterfly.
That makes it 12.
Still fails.
It definitely didn't die of natural causes like of suffocation or malnutrition. Something afflicted it.
Okay.
The butterfly bursts on your head and sort of turns to dust and it fades into your forehead.
So you don't know whether it's necessarily poison or something else, but something afflicted it.
Okay. Guys, give me 10 minutes. I'm gonna do a ritual and see if anything's up to snuff, which is detect poison and disease. So
We'll keep a lookout.
Okay,
Hrugguhl will also keep a lookout.
can I examine the creature further, like medically, see if there are any wounds on it at all?
Sure. You're doing medicine, are you?
Yeah.
Okay. No medicine or nature for that.
Medicine's better, 17.
It has definitely been bitten.
Yeah, so we got a puncture wound.
Yeah. There is something in the wounds. Can't quite tell what it is,
Okay.
but something is in there.
You might wanna. Could you save your slot? We can assume that that's poison, right?
well, this is the thing. I'm casting. I'm casting up to snuff as a ritual for 10 minutes, which is detect poison and disease. Which for a 10-minute concentration, I can sense the location of poisons, poisonous, or venomous creatures.
Nice.
Poisons, poisonous, or venomous creatures and magical contagions within 30 feet. You sense
30 feet.
you can sense the kind of poison, creature, or contagion in each case. Spells blocked by 1 foot of stone, dirt, or wood. 1 inch of metal,
Does the
or 1 inch of lead.
does the creature itself have to be poisonous, or is it just the poison that exists within a creature?
Both. You sense the location of poisons, poisonous or venomous creatures,
Okay.
and magical contagions within 30 feet. And I
Cool.
sense the
So-
kind of poison, the kind of creature, or contagion in each case.
Cool. So every sack pings for you within 30 feet. They are all poisoned. Those creatures inside are poisoned.
Oh god. Oh god, no. The poor souls. No.
Yeah.
Poor creatures.
The poison itself is pretty basic poison. It's not like there's any numbing agents or any weird shit going on. It is
Nothing
just straight
stuns
up.
or anything.
No, so it is just pretty much poison.
When it comes to it, I can remove poison from one of us.
Gracias.
So, yeah,
Cool.
that's what you know from that. But you don't see any. You don't get any large pings.
Cool.
Put it that way.
For the next 10
Medium
minutes,
pings, should I say.
we'll definitely be looking for. If anything is
How long
up
does that
to
last?
10 minutes.
Is it 10 minutes concentration? That thing?
Yeah.
We should
I'll
press on then.
continue
while
to
we've
check
got
if anything is up
Sure.
to. I mean, if we stop every, because it's ritual, we can stop every 10 minutes to get an extra 10 minutes.
We should perhaps approach carefully. At this point, we're clearly close to something.
Oh, are we sneaking then?
Where is Thordas? I need to stamp your legs.
I think that would be best.
Unless you want to be dinner, I would agree.
I'm gonna stand next to Thordas's legs. It's a lot of small creatures, and I don't feel very big.
I'm clanking along, but trying to be as quiet as possible.
What you're wearing plate, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Are you trying to be stealthy?
Are we all trying to be stealthy? I
Are you
assume
all-
that's
We're
the-
moving.
Right,
We're
right.
moving. We're moving slowly. So with
You're doing
care.
that anyway because this
That's-
is difficult terrain.
that's what I
because you're
mean.
Trying to avoid. Yeah.
So we're moving slowly with care. That's probably the most we're doing. Realistically.
We can do a stealth check if we want. I just get disadvantage on it, obviously.
It depends on whether you really want to be. Because there's one thing for obviously moving carefully and slowly. That's fine, right? But if you're like specifically trying to like stealth in the sense that you're trying to make sure your metal armor doesn't clank, or you know you're not going to snap on anything or whatever, that is still a stealth. That'll be a separate stealth
Yeah.
check. So it depends on whether you're actively trying to stealth or whether you're just trying to move without disturbing the webs, because I feel those are two separate things.
Yeah. I feel like we should try and get the drop on this thing.
If we can take it by surprise, that would be most advantageous.
So do you want to roll me then a
Sounds like we're rolling.
group stealth check, please?
Oh dear.
I'll give Agata a helpful subroutine.
Thanks.
I think I'll use my bardic inspiration on this.
I got a 13. Pretty good. Thank you.
I also
Thordas
got
has a
13.
Wow, everyone's getting 13s.
I mean, it might as well carry on with the course. 13. I got a +2. It's 11.
Wow. Matt, are
18.
you going to join the 13 club? Okay.
Hoping the check is DC 12.
Roll worse.
Could have lied
Join
about it.
us.
You kind of lied about it and joined us.
No,
All right.
rather not.
So, next time on Trackers of Crisia, well, how good was their stealth check? Where is this creature? What is this creature? Are they actually going to get the drop on this thing, or are they going to get wrapped up along the way? Find out next time on Trackers of Crisia.